It's our time. It's our time.
Hey there, I'm Shob from North of Normal, and this is One Song, One Story. The concept is simple. Each guest brings a song, and together we explore what it means to them, the memories it holds, the feelings it unlocks, the story it tells about who they are. Today's episode is about grief, identity, and the moment a song doesn't just comfort you, it changes the whole direction of your life. I'm joined by Tara Wiskow, an intuitive healer whose relationship with music is deeply embodied, emotional, and transformative. Tara shares the song that found her in the days after losing her baby sister, a song that first made her angry, then cracked her open, and ultimately guided her through a profound inner shift. We talk about loss, rebirth, authenticity, and what it means to truly live without hard feelings. All right, let's begin. Enjoy. Welcome to the One Song, One Story podcast, Tara Wiskow. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much for having me as a guest on your podcast, giving me this opportunity to experience this with you and just being able to connect with you in our conversation. How are you?
I am very well. I was just saying I'm super excited about this, from the song, the story. I can't wait to get into this with you. So equally excited. And whereabouts in the world are you today?
I am in the United States, in the state of Minnesota, up on the Canadian border, just 10 miles from Canada. So far, far north Minnesota.
Wow. And how is the weather with you?
Oh my gosh, Abby, we've had beautiful weather for February. We had probably 200 hours straight of 30 below temperatures, and now we've been 30 above. It's been incredible. So beautiful as of late.
Good. I was expecting like you to say snow and yeah, okay, that's good. That's good.
Well, we have snow. We have snow, but 30 above for February is unbelievable. I'm almost scared what's coming. There's a whole song that could erupt from that.
And if your day to day was a song, what would the title of that song be and what would the vibe be?
My gosh. Unexpected twists of joy. That just came out of my body. Like, it doesn't exist, and if it does, somebody tell me, because that would be amazing. And the vibe is just excitement and determination with a layer of confidence.
Wow, great answer. And what a song title. I think maybe we should, yeah, let's write that one, I think. Uh, and one thing I like to do with guests, I will ask you afterwards if you have a song that you think connects us or that comes to your mind. We've never met before, but I always like to think of a song that comes into my mind when I'm about to speak to a guest. And the song I've chosen today, it's a fantastic song. It's one of my favorites. It's Changes by David Bowie. Uh, to change. Yeah. I'm sure we'll get in. I'm sure we'll get into this, but it just came to mind because reading your story, I mean, you work in transformation, you work in change, but your own life seems to have been marked by these huge moments of transformation. So I thought I would honor your story with a fantastic song by the master of transformation, which is musical transformation, which is David Bowie.
I love that. Thank you for that. That's beautiful. Truly love that song. And if I'm honest with you, I'm guilty of not always dropping into the lyrics and connecting with the message of it, because I love to connect with the beat and the sound, and I use it as a bodybuilder. Like, music is my vibe in the gym. And there are songs, though, like Changes, that David Bowie wrote, that is just, and just listening to him sing, he pulls you in. It's impossible to not feel what his message is in that. So thank you for sharing that with me.
Pleasure. And I am exactly the same. I'm a songwriter, but when it comes to other people's songs, never really listening to the lyrics. So like
Yeah.
I can be singing along to songs that I've been listening to 30 years and just singing the sounds, humming
Yeah.
away. And my partner's like, how do you not know what they're saying? I'm like, I've just never really been that curious. It's an energy, it's a feeling, it's a sound. When I do find out the lyrics, I'm like, okay, that really adds another layer. But normally I'm
Yes.
oblivious.
Oftentimes, family will say, you know that that's not the words, right? I'm like, oh, sure it is. Yep, those are the words. They're like, yeah, no, you should read the lyrics because you are not singing
Yeah.
it right.
100%. On the theme of David Bowie, my partner realized that I'd always thought it was ground control to Major Tom. She was like, Major Tom? I was like, is that not what he's saying? She's like, Major Tom. Why would he be saying Tom? And I was like, I've never thought about it. But yeah, many instances like that.
Yes.
As I said before, you've brought a fantastic song. I can't wait to get into it, but I thought before we do, I would like to explore a little bit more about your own connection with music. So, what are your earliest memories of kind of really falling in love with music or falling in love with a particular song?
My earliest is in probably my teen years when I finally got my own room. I have 5 sisters. I grew up with 2 of them, and we shared one room, and it was separated with curtains and one big board of plywood. And we could never play our own music because we didn't like each other's music. And so when I finally got my own bedroom, I could play, and it was an old record player. It was my mom's, and I would play her records. Some listening are like, "What the hell are records?" Well, I'm not even gonna explain it. That's a Shopke's job here. And I would listen to these old records of my mom's, like, looking for love in all the wrong places, and I get full goosebumps as I say that song, or The Bop by Dan Seals, and I would just lose myself in that music and dance, and I would walk out of my bedroom happier than when I walked into it, and I really connected how I felt. I didn't realize this then, I connect with it now, is that I felt music in my body. I felt it so deep in my
Mm,
s and it could bring me into a great state of happiness, and I never truly understood it. However, I'm glad that I just went with it because it was an outlet for me in a lot of ways.
brilliant. And I love the way you were just listening to whatever was there on vinyl. You're like, this'll do. It's all I've got. That will have to do.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, and I still love them still today. Alabama, oh my gosh, they are my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's part of the reason I kind of came up with the concept of this podcast originally. I'm just fascinated of the impact songs can have, but also how long they stay with us. You know, you hear a song when you're 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Had a guest on here that brought on a song from when he was 3, and he's now in his 50s, and it still means so much. And that whole memory lives in the body, transports you right back, uh, which is crazy to think about. I think so. Yeah, you know, you still listen to those records now and still feel probably what you felt all those years ago. Um, and when you were in your teens, I always feel that's quite a formative period for music taste. Do you remember the sort of thing, like favorite bands or favorite acts of the time that you were listening to then?
Do I want to admit? Of course, New Kids on the Block, let's be real.
Oh, yes.
And
Yeah.
Danny particularly, oh my gosh, like yes, they were my favorite. Literally, that was probably the only band that I really listened to. I enjoyed that. I am not, Shabi, I'm not good at remembering the names of bands or songs, I can just start like humming it and be like, that's the song. And nobody ever knows what it is. So it never really gets discovered. But the Bop song, I remember that, loved that one. So yeah, but New Kids on the Block, favorite, Tiffany. Debbie, I cannot think of her last name right now. I'm totally aging myself because most have no idea what I'm talking about. And you better
I
say
mean,
you totally know.
you're speaking my language. You are speaking my language right now.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Debbie
no,
Gibson. There it is. Debbie Gibson.
I've really, yeah. I mean, I've got New Kids on the Block. I remember being around at the time, but actually, it was when I got like 10 years older, I was like, these are some great tunes. But
Yeah.
Tiffany, I mean, I remember getting a 7 inch of Tiffany for like a birthday. And I also remember getting a Debbie Gibson tape, and they were big in my life. They were like, who is this person making this music?
Right?
Yeah, no, that was some great music. Some great music. Okay, all right. We're connecting on that. And what about nowadays? What sort of role does music play in your life nowadays?
Oh my gosh, so many different roles. Definitely, as I said, the gym, cardio, it pulls me out of the moment and really just fires me up. It brings the strength, it brings the determination. When I'm weak in the gym and I'm feeling like I don't have one more rep in me, that song comes on. And every time, Shabi, every time, I'm an intuitive healer. My spirit guides, God, the universe, the higher power, whoever you speak to, I speak to all of them, are literally there with me. And they're like, oh, you think you're a quitter? Well, let me just pop this song on and says another one bites the dust. And I'm like, whoa. Hello. Like, yeah. And that's the power. Be like, let me show you who's biting dust, not me today. So totally, absolutely fires me up. That's one way. Also, when I just need to calm, which I know my energy does not ever seem like it's a calming ability. There is, it's there. When I need calming, I put on that music of a Hertz, whether it's 528, 432,
Mm.
is just really bring me into a state of calm. That's new. I never knew I could use music to bring me into a state of just being relaxed, calm, peaceful. I didn't know that that was possible. I always thought it was something I had to like get myself going and get pumped. So that's been something that's been really new, really, really beneficial, and really has helped me go deeper into my transformation.
That's so cool and super interesting, and I really resonate with that. So, I mean, I probably use music in a lot of different ways in different moods, but I had a Reiki session, a distance Reiki session, maybe 2 months ago, and my Reiki practitioner said, "Oh, have you got any music to listen to? I can drop you a playlist if you like." And she dropped me, I forget the guy's name. It was Stephen something, but it was that music, kind of, 420 hertz and things like that. First time I'd really tried it. And it's become like a big part of my life. If I'm overwhelmed now, or if I'm anxious, or I know I kind of need to calm my nervous system, it's become whereas I might have used to put on like the Dalai Lama album, or something really chilled, I put on this now, and it
Yeah.
has quite a profound effect. And that's, like you, that's quite new for me. I feel like I'm really using music as a tool, not like
Yeah.
something to enjoy, but as an actual tool to shift my state and shift down the gears. So yeah, I'm 100% with you there. It has some magic qualities.
Yes, amazing. I love that you discovered it and you're using it. And I love that you say it's a tool because I think that music really was always thought, in my opinion, to be about enjoyment. And for me, I never thought of it as a tool. And now it's a tool that's in my tool belt. And I realize I can use it in so many different facets. It doesn't just have to be enjoyment. And it really has evolved into something that I appreciate at a level that I never could have appreciated before.
Yeah, beautiful. Um, Listen, I think it would be a great time, just based on some things you say in there. And I'm kind of so keen to get into the song and why you chose it and the story behind it. So, um, just before we do, I think a quick heads up for anyone new to the show, this isn't a show about breaking down music theory or studio techniques or anything like that. I am definitely not qualified to do that. We are here for the stories, the memories, the moments songs get tied to. So if you haven't heard the track Tara is about to talk about, press pause. Please take a second to listen before we carry on. And hopefully it will just hit a little differently once that song's in your ears. Okay, so Tara, what is the song that you brought with you today, please?
Yeah. No Hard Feelings by the Avett Brothers.
Fantastic. And it was a new one on me. I've just listened to it, been listening to it today, and it's a beautiful song. It's got a beautiful vibe about it. And when I approached you about coming on the podcast, was it a tough choice to figure out what that one song would be? Did you wrestle with it at all, or was it always going to be this song?
I think I wrestled at first because I thought I did what I usually do, make everything more difficult than it needs to be, and felt like I really had to like find this incredible song that everybody would know and it was popular, because we all want to be popular, right? So you got to pick that popular Madonna song. And I was like, but that doesn't resonate. It doesn't hit me. And then when I really truly said, what song would matter to you most, Tara? Instantly, No Hard Feelings came up. Instantly, I knew that that was the song. So it was a very short wrestle, only because I was getting in my own way. And then
Yeah.
when I got out of my own way, it was right there.
Yeah, you gotta just listen to your gut. One of my very close friends, his gut told him that he should choose "Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now" by Starship, and then
I love
he kept wrestling. He's like, "Can I not pick something cooler?" And then in the end, it was like, "No, this is what's coming up. This is the one that means a lot to me. So this is the one we're going for." Um,
Yes, it's a cool song. Oh
I mean,
my
it's a
gosh,
great
I love
song.
that
Yeah,
song.
it's a great
Yes,
song. Yeah.
yes.
Um, can you set the scene for us a little bit? So, take us back to the moment you first heard this song. Like, where were you? Who were you? What was happening in your world, please?
Yeah, it was 3 years ago. It'll be 3 years this summer. So June it was June 10th of 2023. And I was sitting outside in our yard on our swing right by our pond, and I was listening to music on YouTube. It was where I was going just to find anything that would help me to grieve the loss of my baby sister. We just lost her to cancer, and in the days after her burial service, I was grieving, I was struggling, I was angry, I was all these emotions, and I just needed sound in my ears to shut the thoughts out, to get the pain to go away. And so I had YouTube playing over and over, and all of a sudden this song came on and it instantly hit me. And I was listening to the words, like really listening because I couldn't not listen to it. And at the same time, I didn't want to hear the words. I just wanted it to numb me. And then all of a sudden they said, no hard feelings. Like I heard them say, like, when my feet can't move anymore, when I lay my keys down, when I'm like essentially saying goodbye, like I just buried my baby sister and they're talking about losing somebody or they're losing themselves. And then they say the word no hard feelings. And Shabi, I remember in that moment becoming so mad because I was like, hard feelings, no hard feelings. How can you not have hard feelings in this moment? Like, I instantly hated the Avett brothers so deeply because I thought, who do they think they are to speak like this to me? Like, who? And also at the same time, all of a sudden, I was hit with this desire to have to go deep into questions because then my next question, after I got over the anger, I started playing it again because I was told, like, you need to hear this again, listen differently. And when I listened differently, the question that I asked was, did Trisha leave this earth not full of regrets? She was 39 years old. In
Mm.
those 39 years of her life, did she live the fullest life she ever could have imagined to live? Like, that's how I listened. And then as the song came to a close, it was complete silent. And I heard this very profound voice that was my voice, but I now know was spirit saying, "You're so worried about the life that Trisha lived. Have you thought to connect with the life that you're living?" And in that moment, I finally understood what's been missing in my entire life. Like, I was 43 years old and I realized you keep looking for what's missing. You can't figure out what your purpose is. You're wondering why you do all these things, but yet you don't feel fulfilled. How can you ever feel fulfilled when you never show up as yourself? You are not your most authentic self. And at that point, I'd lost 220 pounds all on my own. My heaviest was 338 pounds. I had struggled with suicide. I struggled with eating disorders. I went through all these struggles and I transformed my body. But 3 years ago, I realized I hadn't transformed my inner world. I was still a chaotic mess. And so, No Hard Feelings by the Avett Brothers brought me home to really understand that I needed to go into this deep inner work. And when I started going into it, the word identity shifting kept coming up over and over and over. And in the month of July, literally 1 month and 10 days after listening to this song, my sister started to speak to me. She started to talk to me. She started to come into my life and she started to guide me into opening up to who I'd always been. And so I was met with something, an entirely different reality is that I lost my baby sister, but she just came back to me in a whole different capacity. And I was the one that was there for Trisha in so many ways. She had a bone disease that we discovered at the age when she was 3 years old. And so she was only 4'10". She was short. She had multiple surgeries to correct her legs and her fingers and her toes and all these things. She had a bone lesion that caused seizures. I was the one that taught her how to ride bike. I taught her how to skate. I taught her all these things. I was the one that told her there's nothing that can stop you, Trisha. Nothing. None of this matters. You can do what you want. And that was me in the forefront all her young years and through her adult life. When she became pregnant, didn't think she'd ever have a baby. I was the one that was there. And all of a sudden, she was the one that was doing the same thing for me when I was in my 40s and helping me realize that there is nothing I can't do, that I can become the intuitive healer. I can become the psychic. I can become the medium. I can be her and do the work I was brought to this earth to do and fully embody it without fear. And that is how this song came into my life and what it did for me.
Wow. That's a pretty powerful story, and so sorry for your loss. It's
Yeah.
fascinating hearing you talk about that. I mean, this is one listen of the song, and you felt some really strong emotion, and I think you described it as feeling very angry, and then
Mm.
going back and listening in a different way seems to have had such a profound influence on everything that's happened since, and I'd love to unpack that more. Um, why do you think this song arrived with you? Who do you think sent it? I'm curious.
I have no doubt Trisha sent it. I really have no doubt. I believed that she was on a mission. The day that we lost her, we had to make the decision to let her go. And so the day that she left me four different pennies, and each one had a significant year. The year she was born, the year I was born, the year she was diagnosed with her bone disease, and the year her and I traveled to Georgia. And so she was on a mission the minute that she became spirit. And so I know that that song, she sent it to me. She wanted me to finally connect with the reality that I was living small. I was saying one thing out my mouth, doing an entirely different thing because I was the one telling everybody to live big, to be authentic, be themselves, love themselves. And I was living vicariously through their happiness and not allowing myself to have it in the same sense.
Mm, wow. And I think it's interesting with this song, or, you know, death is rebirth. They're the very same things, and I think there's physical death, there's rebirth, there's spiritual death and rebirth, and it seems like when I was looking into this song and researching it, the band wrote it when they were considering their own mortality and considering what it would be like to go through that process. Um, and it seems that this has landed with you not only at the time of the death of your sister, but arguably a time of almost rebirth in your own life as well. I'm curious. You said you mentioned you listened to it a few times initially, and then you also, and I just so many questions I'd love to know more about. You mentioned that ultimately there was this connection and relationship established with your sister where you were able to communicate. What was the role, or what was your relationship with the song after that initial period? Is it something you listened to quite a lot, or something you felt you didn't need to go back to after that? Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, I listen to it all the time when I am feeling like I'm losing a sense of myself, or when I'm needing to be reminded of the importance of choosing yourself and living your life now, like embracing life because you're alive right here, right now. I allow the Avett Brothers to bring me back into my mind, my body, my soul, and remind me of the importance of being myself. Like they're with me frequently. Yeah.
Mm. Fascinating. And given the context of when you first listened to it and what you were going through at the time, curious to know what happens when you listen to it. Like if you listen to it, this morning, is it a mixture of all the different emotions that you felt when you listened to it, or is it different from what you felt originally?
I no longer feel anger when I listen to it. Sometimes I will feel sadness just because the origination of it in my life is due to the loss of my sister. So there is some sadness that will come in. However, mostly it's just a profound sense of appreciation that they wrote this song because as an empath, I connect with them and I wonder, like, what was it like for them to write the lyrics, to experience that, to like, essentially, it sounded like they were in it, that they were
Mm,
imagining that their life was ending and they were living it out the final days. There's so much emotion and so much just accuracy in their words of what I watched in Trisha's life coming to an end and losing my dad and losing other people in my life. And so it's so much like I connect with them and I have so much appreciation that they took that time to write this song because I know it's not just my life that's been affected by it. I know so many have absolutely found peace and an understanding, but also a determination to live life fully this moment while we have the opportunity to.
yeah. And it's I always find it fascinating. I mean, yes, I'm a songwriter, so I probably I think about songwriting, and I'm maybe more fascinated than others. But the people that come on this podcast, they talk about songs that have impacted them so much, and I just think it's kind of crazy that some people have sat down and wrote this, and yes, they may have thought, oh, I wonder what it's like, to be on your deathbed or dying. Let's write a song about it, but. Um, Sometimes I wonder whether I'm not sure you could ever get your head around the impact that it would have on even one person's life, let alone more people. And part of me almost wants them to know. Like I'm like, we should be reaching out to the Avett Brothers, like, and be like, do you know what this song did? And do you know the sort of the crazy sequence of events that happened after your song was played? Yeah,
Oh my God.
it just feels amazing. And I wonder what they would feel knowing
Oh my
that.
God. Yes. We should be Ellen DeGeneres right now and call them, put them on the spot and be like, "Do you know what your song did?" Oh, I would love to. I'd love to be in person. I would love to just hug them. The poor guys would be like, "We're not really sure we wanna write songs anymore, but thank you very much." Like, no, kidding.
Uh, Do you know at all? And I know the universe is much more complicated, and mystical than this. But out of interest, do you know if your sister liked or ever listened to this song at all?
No, like, so she's very present, and it's a song that she's never listened to before, but it was one that she was guided to send to me. Yeah. This would not be her, like, when she was alive, this would not be her forte of listening to, not at
Mm,
all. Like, yeah. No, you would have never caught her listening to something like this.
yeah, but
Yeah.
somehow something about this song was the medicine that you needed. Uh,
Yeah. And spirit really works in connecting with you in ways that they know you will connect with it. Like they really have such an amazing way to connect with you that brings you in so that you have the awareness of the lesson or the message that you need to receive.
yeah, yeah, that's so true. Um, And I think it's fascinating. I mean, not only the significance of this song when it's come into your life, what it's actually meant for you in terms of processing your own situation, connecting with you to your sister. Um, it's fascinating to look at the themes because the themes seem so similar to my view of how you live your life today and what lights you up and what you do as a business. I mean, there's some pretty big themes in there around kind of forgiveness as freedom, and letting go of fears and this kind of self-love without conditions. And if I'm not mistaken, that sounds quite aligned with the work that you've kind of got on to do. So it feels like the perfect song in so many ways, that has found you through whatever means.
Yes, you are 100% accurate. It's what opened me up to become a healer. It's what opened me up to open my business, and my company name is Be the Change You Need, because that's what that
Mm,
song means to me. Like, it's about becoming the change you need in order to really make sure that when that moment comes and your feet can't carry you anymore, and you lay your keys down for the last time and you say your goodbyes, it's like you've become the change you needed in your life. You've authentically risen up and you've decided, like, I'm living the life that I want as me, regardless of what anybody thinks or likes, because this is my life. And if I want change, if I need change, I have to be the change within it in order to create what I desire. And that, to me, is the message that they gave to me. And the magic of music is everyone that listens to that song is going to get something else, their
mm.
message from it. And that's what I love about it. There could be a trillion different viewpoints that come from that song, and every individual get exactly what they need from it. This is what I needed, because this has brought me into my purpose to change the world in the way that I needed to and was meant to.
Yeah, that's amazing. And yeah, a lot of that resonates with me. My partner is doing training at the moment to be an end of life doula. And there's a lot of conversations around death and a lot of thoughts around death, which at the start I found incredibly triggering and something I kind of didn't want to let in at all and was quite resistant to it. But the more I think about it, and she was talking about a book she was reading where it was saying, if you imagine what you would like on your deathbed, and then if you would like it then, what's stopping you from getting it now? And it's like this really thinking about your own mortality is quite a big motivator. If you can remove that fear, it allows you to live more fully and think, well, how do I actually want to live my life?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of on a journey with the concept of mortality and the relationship with that fear of death, which feels quite transformative, but it's like liberating as well. So I'm resonating with a lot of the things he said there.
Beautiful. And I think what I'll add to that is my grandma used to say to me, "I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of being dead." And when I
Mm,
asked her "Why?" She said, "Well, there's so many things that I'll not have gotten done." And that just so hits me so hard because I think about that. Like, I don't want to lay on my, as they say it, I mean, I know it sounds terrible, my deathbed is in writing all the things like, "I didn't do this, I didn't do this, I didn't do this." I don't want that side of my life to be longer than the side that I did do.
Yeah.
And I use that as my message of, like, if I continue to live out of alignment with my truth and myself, that that side's gonna be really, really long because I'm gonna keep myself from going out and doing what I desire and not being who I truly am. And I love that your partner is going after that passion. It's not an easy role to step into. There's a lot of judgments, there's a lot of beliefs, there's a lot of opinions. And for her to passionately rise into it and choose it, absolutely amazing. She will benefit so many lives that need her most. And I love that you're letting yourself be introspective of it and support her in the way that you are because like literally I see music notes, so I have no doubt, Shabi, that this will benefit you in so many ways of just like opening your mind in your story, right, or your songwriting, like, yeah, crazy great.
Yeah, no, I think it already has. It already has. It doesn't take
Good.
much. Yeah, just having thoughts and emotions and things in my body.
Yeah.
Then suddenly a song comes up. I think I wrote a song after one of the conversations where I was imagining myself as, an 80-year-old man looking back on his life. That all came just through, slowly thinking about mortality and death, and it comes out. So yeah, I think all the influences that come in will ultimately shape whatever comes out of you. So yeah, the more the better. The more experience, the more story, the better, I think. Um,
Yes.
Tara, we're starting to come towards the end of our conversation now. So, but before we do, is there anything else that you'd like to say about this song that you haven't said already?
I think I just have so much, again, appreciation. I've already said that. This is a song that I have no doubt will continue to provide me with so many more profound lessons as I continue to evolve and grow and become. I know that every time that I listen to this song, another word or a complete sentence will pop out and it'll have a different meaning. And so I think it's a song that's meant to travel with me as I evolve to help me to continue to evolve. And it's also a song that keeps me truly connected to Trisha. Not that I need the song for that, but it is that. And it's one that I've never loved a song so much in my life. Songs that I've loved have been because I just love the beat and it gets me in the groove. Whereas this song just opens me up in ways that I truly need.
Yeah, absolutely. And a question you can say, just forget about it. If someone was to cover this song, who would you want to cover it and why?
Tell me what you mean cover.
um, uh, Record a version of it, like another artist recording a version of it.
Oh,
You
oh
can
my.
say, no way.
I won't. I would say so somebody else is gonna sing it. So it's the
Yeah,
same, like, lyrics kind of, but different voice.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Shabi. Now I have to really think of Chris Stapleton. Literally, I'm sorry, Avett Brothers, but Chris Stapleton. Oh, shame on you. Now I want Chris Stapleton to do it. Yep, Chris Stapleton.
Okay, sorted. Let's make it happen. Um, and looking back on what we shared, the song, the amazing story that you've shared, the memories that it carries, is there anything that stands out most for you right now, or anything new that's come up for you at all?
I really truly feel like our conversation, like that song also came into my life because Spirit knew you and I would connect through this. We would come together. We would have this conversation, and I feel a connection with you that was meant to have, that I was meant to have, that connection of just more self-acceptance, of opening up, of exploring my own inner awareness and growth. And so I feel like the song has invited me to open up even more and brought another soul connection in that gets me, that understands. Like, I've never had a conversation with somebody about music that has been like, "Oh yeah, like that totally is like I get that or that resonates or I feel that," or like you saying, "I just hum the sounds." Like, I've not had that with anybody. I've always felt like this odd duck that lives, I mean, I still am, but I feel like you're an odd duck that lives in your own island, and I love that. I love that for us. So I feel like this has really, they just opened me up to a whole nother element of understanding that this song has a bigger purpose in my life than I thought in the beginning.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for bringing this song and for bringing yourself so openly. It's been fascinating to share this time with you. And before we close, where can people find you, follow your work, connect with what you're creating, please?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. So my website is www.tara-wisco.com. You can find me on Facebook or Instagram, tara.wisco on Instagram. I have to keep people on their toes to find me. So that's where you can find me and connect with me. I would love to have conversations with anybody that listens to this, that felt inspired, resonated, and just wants to have a conversation. It would truly be my honor to just talk and hear your thoughts.
Brilliant. Well, I will certainly tag you in the social media when the episode goes live, and I'll drop your website in the comments.
Thank you.
We always link the song itself to the episode. So hopefully a lot of people will get to listen to this song and have their own experience with it. But I just feel it will be even more powerful once they're kind of listening to your story alongside it. Um,
Thank you.
but Tara, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Likewise, absolute pleasure. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for what you do and for allowing me to be a guest.
It's our time. It's our time. It's our time.